If you are looking to level up your sports betting, you have come to the right place. Today, I'm going to talk about a sports betting tool that you should all have in your betting toolkit, and it is called Outlier Bet. Outlier will give you insights on plus EV betting. It will give you up to the minute injury reports. It will cut down the amount of time that you actually spend handicapping. It could be a one stop shop for all your sports betting needs. What's up, everybody? Ninja here from OddsShark. If you're interested in signing up for Outlier, I will put a link below in the description here on YouTube. And full disclosure, any signups via that link we do get compensated for, but it's important to note that we wouldn't be partnered up or aligned with Outlier if we did not believe in their product. It is a great tool. It is great if you're looking to bet game lines. It is great if you're looking to bet props. Whatever you're looking for, it is a tool that can be used across the NBA, Major League Baseball, college football, tons of sports. But for the purpose of this video, let's dig into the NFL. Here are 4 reasons that I love Outlier. So the first thing here that I want to talk about is actually what you see over here on the top of this left little side rail here. And that's going to be the insight section. What this is basically a curated list of stats and trends that support prop bets that are available in the betting market. I know many of you out there subscribe to these things, trends and whatnot. My recommendation is to not always let it be the sole purpose that you're making a bet. Do a little bit more digging. It's certainly something that can reinforce why you think player X might hit bet Y, but don't let it be the sole purpose. Do a bit more research and don't just rely on that info. But this is all laid out here in a one-stop spot for you on Outlier. Basically, they are identifying potential bets for you. They have curated this list of what's available with a little bit of reinforced data and information. So we can look at this one right here. DeAndre Hopkins over 13 and a half yards, longest reception this weekend. As you see here in the bottom right, it is the over is minus 105 at Caesars. And we have some information to back it up here. So he's hit this in 13 of his last 17 games at home. The average longest reception is 22.8 yards. So we see a little bar breakdown here showing you that this is cashed in 76% of the time. We can even click on this and launch a DeAndre Hopkins page with more information about this bet. We see a bar graph here. And I mean, we do have to realize with this one, all but 6 of these were with the Tennessee Titans. So doesn't really line up with him, being on the Chiefs, etc. And that's okay. He's hit in 4 of 6 of these at Arrowhead Stadium, but you do need to go in and just have a look at what those historical numbers look like. Again, this is just one example here. And Outlier, I mean, look, scrolling through here, there's tons on offer here, really comprehensive and a really good curated list to at least get the ball rolling. The next feature of Outlier that I want to hit on here is probably why many of you are even watching this video, but it is their prop section. And very much like Insights, it is very robust. It is very comprehensive. And again, packed with data here. So I've got it filtered to NFL. If it wasn't, it would list out everything across, all sports. So it would include NBA, it would include college hoops, it would include soccer, it would include the NHL, anything that's on offer from a sports betting perspective. Again, I just want to pay attention to some NFL here. And let's look at Jalen Hurts here. So under half a pick for him this weekend, okay? Here you can see the variance at some of the books. So at BetMGM, under half a pick is minus 190. Caesars minus 190. 365 minus 185. And then ultimately FanDuel minus 165. So a little bit of variance there. And again, I'll just show you this. You can toggle on or off whatever books that you've got here. And again, at this point, we should be looking at having multiple sports books to be able to capitalize on that variance. So over here, we're looking at an implied probability column here. So 62% at that minus 165 FanDuel number is the implied probability there. Here, we are looking at the opponent rank, Washington getting picks, 26th in the NFL. That's colored green because it looks like a good betting opportunity and a good opportunity with this spot for Jalen Hurts. Over here, you're looking at your last 5. So it's telling us this bet would have hit 100% of the time in the last 5. So 5 out of the last 5 games, Hurts has been pretty clean in the interception department. And last 10, 90%. So 9 out of the last 10 games, Jalen Hurts under half a pick would have hit. So here we're looking at head to head 2024 season to date, 2023, so on and so forth. Again, very much like the DeAndre Hopkins thing, we can launch a Jalen Hurts page here, and it gives us a little bit more of a viz idea what's going on here. So here we have a bar graph of the last 10. The one time he did throw a pick was in that game against the Dallas Cowboys. All sorts of handy ammunition here to back up any kind of your bets. But again, don't lean on it as the sole purpose you're making a bet. Look at the matchup, dig into the numbers, dig into, who he's going up against, but use it certainly as more information and data. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about here over on the left, indicated by this sort of megaphone icon, is their boosts section. This is incredibly handy. Again, for those of us that do have multiple sports books, as you should, you want to know what those boosts are. This is your one stop shop for all the books that we've got toggled on here. In this example, I've got MGM, Caesars, FanDuel, and 365. So if you've got multiple books, this will just lay out what boosts are on offer at each of those books. So this first one here at Caesars, we're looking at a boost to plus 525 for James Cook and Isaiah Pacheco each to get over 49 and a half rushing yards here, boosted to plus 525 at Caesars. Again, some supporting info here. James Cook, 7 of the last 10. Not so great for Pacheco here, only 40% of the time for the Chiefs running back. But once again, just a handy spot as a catch all for the books that you've got accounts with. This is another one here. Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman boosted to plus 425 to each have over 2.5 catches. Again, Kincaid, 70% of the time in the last 10. Keon Coleman, not as great, 40%. Not a boost that you'd probably want to hit on here. But again, great catch all spot for all of this information so you don't have to go hopping around from book to book. The fourth and sort of final thing I want to mention, and by no means is this the end of what Outlier offers. I mean, I could go on for an hour or two talking about some of the features within this app. But for the sake of this brief video, I reached out to the guys at Outlier and I said, what is an element of the app or the site that doesn't get as much love, doesn't get highlighted as much? What's out there sort of flying under the radar? And the answer that they had for me was Outlier strategies. This basically gives the user the ability to set filters, to save filters, and to customize notifications a little bit for their search. And so I've got a saved list already. I did this one earlier. I called it Eagles wide receivers or Eagles receivers. So I've looked at 3 players. I've looked at one prop, receiving yards. I've looked at the over, and I sort of filtered the odds offering from starting at minus 223. Okay. So this gives me the guys that I looked at: Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and then it's giving me 6 options here at the books that I've got filtered. Again, that's MGM, Caesars, FanDuel, and 365. One thing I did want to do, I'm going to go into filters here. I'm going to toggle the alt lines on, and it boosted that 6 results to 35. So let's go here. Let's look at AJ here. So over 61 and a half receiving yards, minus 115 at Caesars, minus 110 at Bet365. But then we've got some alt lines here. AJ, 49 and a half receiving yards, minus 195 at Caesars, minus 184 at FanDuel. And again, as we go to the right, it gives us a little bit more data, the same as what we looked at before. But this is handy. So think about it like the beginning of football season or the beginning of Major League Baseball season. You can build these lists around, a position on a team or a collection of receivers, running backs, whatever the case may be. You can have this list, you can have your parameters, and you can get search results and notifications on your phone whenever something like that hits the market based on your search criteria. So super handy, and per the guys at Outlier, sort of flies under the radar for what they are offering here at Outlier. There you go. 4 elements from Outlier that I absolutely love, and aspects of the app that can help you become a better, sharper sports bettor. I hope that it was helpful. If you're looking for more, and believe me, there is much more to this great app. Tony Farmer has a great, thorough, and comprehensive review up on oddshark.com. I'll link to it below here. He goes through things like the arbitrage tool and the middling tool, which are super cool and super helpful as well. And I haven't even mentioned things like the ability to link up your sportsbook accounts to Outlier so you can just bet via the Outlier app. Outlier does have tons to offer, and when it's used to its full capability, it can become an incredibly impressive and incredibly valuable sports betting tool and companion. Best thing you can do, though, is sign up for the trial and see how it helps you with your sports betting.